Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the JNewellness podcast with me, Janelle. I have been gone for a few weeks. I've been really busy studying for midterms, doing rehearsals, all that stuff. Um, I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my business straight. Yeah, but I really wanted to record another episode because it's spring break now and I have the time. And I feel like this is a very juicy topic today. But before we get into that, um, yeah, I just wanted to do a little catch up, a little check in. You know, I feel like school lately has been so stressful, and it's been so hard to find the motivation to do anything. Like I get up, I'm like, I just want to work out, eat, and sleep. like Like, I don't know. It's also because I live so far from everything that it's so tiring, like walking a mile to class and then walking a mile back to go and get food and then walking back home. It's so much walking and I'm working out and I'm dancing almost every day. And I'm just like, "Arr." You know what I mean? But I'm just glad to be on spring break, even though it's not really a break because tell me why I have like 7 assignments. What? Like this is supposed to be a break. What happened to relaxing? What happened to rejuvenation? What happened to that? What happened to vacation? No? Like why are you so mean to me? Like it's like they don't even love me here. Like I'm constantly thinking they actually hate me here. They actually hate me. Because why? Why can't I get a break? Tell me why the STEM majors don't have anything to do over break. Tell me why. Like, it's not even making any sense. Like, what? Like, what happened to me? What happened to Janelle? But whatever, it's fine. I remember one day I was really down in the dumps. And I was walking to class like, I don't want, oh my gosh, I don't want to be here. Um, and then tell me why someone goes by Zoom. It's a guy on a unicycle. I was like, how many of y'all are there? Because last year, I mean, the guy's still here, but there's this guy who likes to ride around on his unicycle and juggle. And it's like, what is this? Is this a circus? Like, all times of the year, it's too winter. You see him on his unicycle. I'm surprised that wheel, like, didn't erode or something in the snow. It's not even making any sense. So I'm down in the dumps walking like, here we go again. And then And then the guy goes by and his unicycle. I'm like, really? Like, I wanted to cuss him out. I was like, excuse me, sir. Like, do you not see me walking right here? Like, he almost knocked me over on his unicycle. So nonchalant. Like, he did not have a care in the world. I was like, you know what? I can't even be bothered at this point. I just need to get to class. Um, but yeah, that's a funny anecdote that I wanted to include before I actually got into the topic. So, I just have to say this. Some of your friends are your biggest haters. Like, period. Like, oof. You guys you have to think about it. Like, you have to analyze some of the relationships in your life because some of those people, they just want to be around you to use you. They want to steal your energy. They want to profit off of being associated with you in whatever way. And it's so hard to realize that. So this episode we're talking about fake friends and how to how to develop a healthy friendship as well because like I'm not just going to be sitting here complaining. Like I actually want to give you guys tips because I have had the most toxic friendships ever. I've been a toxic friend and luckily I've been able to do enough introspection to realize like where my faults were and where other people's faults were and I'm able to navigate friendships in a healthier way now and have boundaries because girl I did not have any boundaries, girl. That's why I kept That's why I was like getting ran over like at every second, like at every turn. Just like that guy on the unicycle, y'all bitches was running me over like nobody. Okay, wait. Let me actually look at this before I lose track and then I start rambling.
Uh, 2 hours later, tomorrow, 3 hours later, the next day.
Okay, let's get into first how I was a toxic friend. I briefly mentioned this in the last episode, but I feel like when you don't feel good about yourself, you cannot have healthy relationships. Legitimately. Like there's so many times I'm like, I need to take a break from an environment or from people and spend some time alone because I know that like if I'm not happy, I can't make other people happy. I can't be present. I can't interact with people in a healthy way because I'm thinking about all the things I don't like about myself. So, yeah, growing up, like I had the worst acne. I had braces. My hair was so short. My mom was dry combing my hair, so like my hairline was receding. Like people thought I looked like a boy. Like it was really not cute at the time. Like I did not. I felt so ugly, and then also navigating being a black girl, like growing up in an environment where Eurocentric features are being praised. It was not a nice feeling, and I remember like there are two sides to it. Like while my friends did not understand and I was constantly trying to explain to them like, listen, my experience is different. I'm not being pedestalized in the same way you guys are. But like I feel like they were hearing me, but they couldn't care. Like they couldn't like what were they supposed to do about it is what I was thinking. Like, yeah, they can support me emotionally, but they're not gonna change the status quo. Like if people are racist, they're racist. If people are colorist, they're colorist. My friends, they can't control what guys at school are thinking, what they're saying, how they're treating us. And I felt like I was just constantly complaining and not really spending enough time being their friend. And I think that contributed to like a toxic relationship where I was just venting all the time about my problems and not because I didn't have a good outlet at the time. Like in elementary, middle school, I played violin, but it was not my passion. So I wasn't really allowing myself to express those emotions through anything other than venting to my friends. And I know they were getting annoyed. I know I would have gotten annoyed if I had my own problems and someone just kept venting to me all the time. Like, I also want to hang out as a friend. But then at the same time, I couldn't because my parents were really strict and I couldn't go anywhere. So it was like most of the time that I was spending with them, I was just complaining. Like we did have our moments of fun, but I felt like I was really toxic in that way that I didn't know how to regulate my emotions. And luckily I've gotten better at that. And I I speak to a therapist. I've been trying to journal. I have dance now. Thank God. Like if I didn't have dance, like literally dance saved my life. But that's another episode. That's another episode for real. But yeah, I was just constantly venting to them and it became toxic. But on the other hand, they were also toxic in the way that they ignored how I was being treated in school, how I was being bullied, how colorist the guys were, how colorist they were as well. Like when they talked about guys, they would say the guys at our school were ugly, but I was like, no, they're just black. Like stop being. I kept having to clock their tea because what? They're not ugly. They're just not the white guys that. They're not the blonde, blue-eyed Prince Charmings. They're not the Chad Michael Murray. You want them to be. Like, I don't like stop playing. I know what you mean. Stop trying to stop trying to pander to me. Like they were trying to seem woke. They were trying to not sound racist, but let's be real. I think that if you're not open to dating people of different races, you're racist. That's it. Like there's no further discussion with that. Like I don't even know. You're racist because why could you not see the beauty in every race? Like we're just people at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter what skin tone you are. Like you could be attractive, you could be ugly, it doesn't matter. But to lump everyone into that one group and say, "Oh, the guys here are ugly." No, no, babe, you're just racist. That's it. So it was like a back and forth of both of us, well, of all of us being toxic towards each other and like not knowing how to navigate that. And then it was also like we grew up together. So any problems we had, it was just like whatever, like I'm gonna see you day in, day out for the next few years. So like there was no way to really like we were always gonna be around each other. And like some of those friendships didn't even end until high school. So I was with these girls from third grade to like end of sophomore year, a little bit of junior year, and then a bunch of drama happened. But the thing is, I can look back in hindsight and realize my mistakes and also appreciate our friendship for what it was. Like they did support me a lot in some hard times and like we had a lot of fun moments, but I think that my insecurities and their inability to process and navigate what I was going through really made it hard for us to be friends. So even now, I feel like the reason most of my friends are people of color now is because I feel like white people don't understand my experience. And it's not to say that I wouldn't be friends with a white person. Like there are plenty of white people who are nice, but there's definitely that barrier there because I keep thinking to myself, I have to over explain everything to you for you to understand like who I am as a person and why I am the way I am. And I was so tired. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, why why do I have to tell you these things? First of all, why can't you educate yourself? But they're not because mm, even here, all the white people just hang out with white people. Let's be real. Let's be real. If you're not on a sports team, where there are non-white people, most of the white people here they stick to their little cliques, and it's just white, 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 white. No tea, no shade. Like it's not a bad thing, but it's like it's very noticeable when you get here. I don't know why I'm getting stuffy right now. I don't want the audio to sound bad. Okay, let's get into like I could really get into the whole high school drama thing, but I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about some college tea because let's stay in the present. Like I want to get into this really toxic situation that I was in and just show you guys like how do I identify a toxic friend with a very specific example. So there was this girl that I was friends with. Um, like as soon as I got here, I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible. But if she sees this and she hears this, like she's gonna know who it is, and people, other people are gonna know who this is. So hopefully it doesn't become this huge thing. But like I'm doing this to educate people, to inspire people, and to just help people prioritize themselves and like healthier relationships. So like it doesn't really matter to me. But there was this girl and like we were so close. Like I looked up to her so much and she became a mentor for me in one of the groups that I'm in. And like I don't know, I idolized her so much. I thought that she was better than me in so many ways, and like I wanted to be just like her. I wanted to oh, I'm like I'm watching my words because I'm like it's it's gonna be so obvious if I say like the one wrong thing. But essentially, she took me under her wing, and I felt really special. I was like, oh my gosh, I just got here. I was a freshman, like, and she likes me, and she thinks I'm cool, and she thinks I'm talented, and everything was all fun and dandy the first semester. And then second semester, like, I don't know what happened. Like, I thought that we were so cool. I thought we were like this. Like, I thought she was like my mother and my sister at the same time, which is not a healthy dynamic to have with a friend, but that's just the way that it was at the time. And we go into second semester, and I'm like, I don't know, like a switch flipped or something because tell me why she stopped talking to me. I was seeing this girl almost every day, and then all of a sudden she stopped talking to me. I was like, oh, okay. Like I feel like I pedestalized her so much that when that switch happened, like it made me feel bad about myself, which is not good. Like, you should not allow other people's treatment of you to determine how you feel about yourself. But I was at a vulnerable point. Like I left high school. I didn't really have many friends that I could trust. I had a lot of insecurities still. I didn't feel good about myself, and then I come into a space I think like, oh, like this is finally my chance to be seen and to be appreciated. And then it just became this other thing. But I remember, at the end of first semester, I told her some personal things. This is why, honestly, when you come to college, you got to keep your business to yourself. Like, some of these people are so fake and cannot be trusted because I had another friend group where they were bringing my business into conversations with other people and making fun of me and laughing. Like, these bitches are so fake. Like, no, I had to block them on everything. That was so fake. I would never do that to a friend. Like, if you trust me with a secret, it's meant to be a secret. Like, I'm gonna carry that to the grave. But no, they decided to embarrass me and disrespect me like that. So I stood up from the table. I walked away. I said, no, before I left, I was like, that was so disrespectful. Got up, left, never talked to them again unless I'm period. Because what I respect my peace. Like I'm prioritizing my peace, okay? I do not care about how anyone else feels if they don't care how I feel. Right. So similar thing happened with her. I told her something personal and she brings it up in a group setting and I'm like, why would you say that? I told you that in private. I trusted her so much because she was one of the first connections that I made, like one of the first people I felt close to. And so that already rubbed me the wrong way, but I was like, whatever. Like maybe she didn't think it was that serious. And then we go into second semester and it's like this whole different ordeal. And I feel like I'm constantly trying to impress her and like prove my worth in the group. I was like, why? Like genuinely, I don't think now in hindsight, I do not see everything looks better in hindsight. Or like you can come to more realizations in hindsight than when you're actually in it. But now I don't pedestalize her at all. I know what I bring to the table. I know that like I am talented and I can do things that other people can't. Let's just be real. I worked really hard. I train almost every day. So I know what I can do and I know that I'm capable, but like I was feeling really insecure at the time. And I remember I was also going through a breakup. So it's like my self-esteem was like, "Ooh," like it was whoa. No, but but then she just started acting weird. she wasn't including me in things. Like, they would have bonding activities, and I wasn't being invited. Or, like, the way that she interacted with me was different. She'd always hug other people and stop hugging me. And it felt kind of weird because, like, we were so close, but then we weren't. And I was like, what happened? I don't know. But then also, like, in that space, in the little clique that we had, I was also the only black girl. Like, in at the time, like, in the family environment that we had. And I was like, oh, maybe she feels closer to the other girls who look like her because I do not. Like, I understand gravitating more towards people who have similar experiences to you and similar backgrounds, but it was just kind of weird. I wasn't feeling good. And then, like, when I would see her, when we were in group settings, she would walk past me, she would shove past me like I didn't exist. She would ignore me when I tried to talk to her. And she was being really rude. And I was like, why is she so rude to me? Like, I thought that I was being so nice. Like, I'm not as nice as I used to be. Like, I was a pushover, okay? Now I do not let anyone disrespect me. If someone shoves past me now, pa, like, I'm gonna have to throw hands. Like, and I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. I'm really not a fighter. So if someone pisses me off that much over an extended period of time, because now it's been like a year and she still acts like that towards me. I did not do anything to this girl. I did not do anything. I was so nice. I idolized her for the longest time. Not anymore. But yeah, it was really weird. And I was just like, I don't feel good in this environment. And then, like, we were doing something, like, we were working together on something. And her and one of the other leaders in the group, they were always singling me out and yelling at me for things that other people were also doing wrong. And I was looking around like, I know I'm not that bad. I can't, like, I was getting comments like, oh, like, this is literally gonna give away who it is. I don't even care at this point. I was literally getting comments like, oh, like, your wrist doesn't bend far back enough, like, you're not doing it right. Like, they're over here literally trying to kill me. Like, I can't bend my wrist back all the way and, like, make things look the way you want them to look. And I was trying my best. I was also in heels. Like, I grew up feeling very uncomfortable in my body. For the longest time, I didn't even like to dance in front of other people. And then I became more comfortable with that in high school, but I never did like sexy dancing or anything like that. First semester was the first time I did that. Okay, let's just literally gave away what it was, but or who it was. But I was not super comfortable in my femininity because ooh, my timer's going off. I was not comfortable in my femininity and being sexy and any of those things. So to then go to like do a heels dance and then it's a different style than what I'm used to. I'm trying my best. I'm I'm spending the most amount of my time on that piece because I felt like I wasn't doing a good job and I wanted it to look good like for the choreographers. I was like, why? I'm trying so hard. I keep getting yelled at for things that other people are also messing up on. We keep moving to different spaces and they're like, oh, Janelle, like you're too far out of the formation, but it's a different space with different measurements, and you're not telling me what center is, and I'm getting confused, like, and I keep getting yelled at, and it's like, this is a voluntary club. I really do not have to be here. I can literally just up and leave. I was gonna drop the piece. I was like, why are you guys? I don't tolerate disrespect now. I was getting so tired. I was feeling bad about myself. Like, I was already having other things. Someone in my family literally died of cancer. I get dumped, and then they're treating me like shit? Hell no. Hell, like, I was both sad and angry at the same time, but I'm not the person who's gonna throw hands unless someone throws it first. Because I'm not trying, like, I can get, like, I'm an adult, so I could get tried for assault. Like, I can get charged. I'm not trying to get a charge. So I was just like, whatever. I felt really bad about myself. I wanted to quit the dance, quit the team. I took a break from that team because it was so toxic, and I was the only one being treated that badly. I was like, why would I choose to be in this space? I don't even know if I'm going to go back because this person, one of the people is still going to be there. And I'm like, even though I spoke with the directors, with the team and everything, try to mediate the situation, the girl the girl at the time was one of the directors, and I did not want to speak to her. I wanted to speak to the other one, but at the time she was one of the directors, and she made a comment of why I can be a director, and she was like, "Oh, you don't handle criticism well." I was being criticized every time. It's not the criticism. Like you didn't say, "Oh, Janelle, like make sure you're standing in this spot," or make sure the movement looks like this as best as you can. I was being yelled at. I was being scolded. I was being told that I was messing everything up almost every rehearsal. And other people were also having a hard time and they didn't say anything. No one stood up for me for shit. I think everybody was scared. And now if that shit happened, like I would speak up. I don't tolerate that. But yeah, at the time it was really difficult, and it sucks because I wanted everyone to be friends. I wanted to just have a big group of friends and for everything to be okay. But that wasn't the case. And then I remember I knew that I would be a good director because I know I'm a good choreographer and I know what I can bring to the space. But because of that whole situation, oh, my stomach is grumbling. Because of that whole situation, they didn't think that I could be a good director because I wasn't as involved in the space. And first semester I was, but then second semester I stepped back because I was getting treated like shit. So I didn't feel comfortable speaking up. I didn't feel comfortable participating. I was feeling anxious, insecure. I just did not want to be there. So I didn't show up in the way that I wanted to and in the way that people who know me know I do. Like I am like with people that I trust and feel comfortable with, I'm this outgoing person. I'm loud. Like I'm always. I randomly get down. I start getting sturdy, a little zesty sturdy. Like I'm a fun person, but I could not be myself in that space because they were not treating me well. So obviously, I wasn't. They didn't see me being a good director for that reason, but they didn't acknowledge what I was going through either, even though I told them, like they knew what was happening. But whatever. And then I was like, whatever, I don't even want to be a part of this space right now. There were some people on the team that I really love, and I wanted to be on the team for them. But at the same time, I had to prioritize my mental health. I was like, I only have so many years in college. Why am I putting myself through this stress? Like, I'm already stressed with other things, and then I'm doing something that I love around people who don't treat me well. For what? Like, why am I here? No, gone. So yeah, then last semester they were trying to look for new directors because the person that they had chosen over me, who I love by the way, like she is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I respected their decision. I was like, you know what, yeah, I know that she'd be a good director. And they chose her over me, but we all have a million things to do. Like we're students, we're participating in other extracurriculars, we have jobs. It's a lot going on, and she had to step down respectfully. Like I totally understand. And so they were looking for a new director. There's also the girl that was being rude to me. She also ended up stepping down. So it was only one director at the time, and they were looking for a new director. And they're like, "Hey, Gina," I was like, don't even play me with this. Don't even. Why are you asking me right now? after the way that I was treated in this space, why are you asking me now that you have no one else? Now that you're desperate. I was getting really annoyed because why? I'm literally exposing all the tea right now. People might get mad, but whatever. I'm speaking my truth. And I'm not trying to attack anyone or be mean, but this is my experience and this is how I felt. So I'm gonna speak on it. But yeah, I was just like, after you told me that I couldn't take criticism and that I wasn't present enough in the space and that people might not feel comfortable with me being a director and that I don't speak up enough and they don't know if I'd be a good leader. You're criticizing me on all these things. I'm taking it. I'm just like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but I know what I bring to the table as well. And even then, they did not understand why, like, I wasn't as present as they wanted me to be, or as much as they expected a director to be, a future director to be. I was like, why? Whatever. I don't even care at this point. But then the girl that they ended up getting instead, I think she's so sweet. She was one of my orientees, and I think she's doing a great job. I'm proud of her. So like there's no bad blood or anything. I was getting annoyed with even being asked after the way I was treated and the things that were said about me. I thought it was really disrespectful, honestly. But that's whatever. I'm just I just wanted to tell that story because sometimes sometimes people just switch up. You never know what it is. Maybe they're insecure, maybe like actually no, I think it was insecurity because I didn't do anything to her. Like I was so nice to that girl to a fault. Like she made me feel like shit and I was still nice to her for what? Like even after all that drama, I still tried to organize a bonding event. I still invited her because I didn't want there to be any beef or anything. I didn't want there to be any bad blood. And even after that, she just went back to ignoring me. Like she ate my food and then she left and she went back to ignoring me and she went back to shoving me aside in rehearsals. She went back to being the same person that she was. And I remember talking about it with a mutual friend of ours. And honestly, yeah, that's why I didn't tell him too much because he doesn't know how to keep a secret. He doesn't know how to keep things private, whatever. But it's all out there now, so it doesn't even matter. But I told him like she didn't make me feel too good and I thought that we were friends, but I feel like she hates me now for whatever reason. And then I guess he went back to her and mentioned it and he was like, "Oh, she doesn't hate you." And I was like, "For you to treat me that badly over the span of a year, that's not just you being in a bad mood. That's a bad attitude. It's disrespect. I don't even care if we're not friends, but don't disrespect me. Like there are people that I don't like. There are people that I'm not friends with, but I'm gonna still say hello with a smile. I'm gonna still acknowledge other people's existence because we're human beings. Like let's be so real or whatever. If you guys have a friend that acts like that, who is nice to you in a private setting and then switches up in group settings, you need to cut that person off respectfully. I do not even care because at the end of the day, it's your life and you need to protect your peace at all costs because if you're not happy with yourself, then what's the point? You should not be around people who don't make you feel good about yourself. Mm. So yeah, because of that, I feel like I've been a lot more intentional with who I hang out with and the spaces that I occupy. Because as much as I love dance, like dance is my main passion, I can't be around people who take that love away from me. Like dance gives me life. You guys are just those people are just draining me. You know what I mean? And it just wasn't worth it. Um. Okay, I think maybe maybe for today that will be it. Like I had some other things in mind, but I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get some food. But oh wait, I totally forgot. Wait, guys, my boyfriend got me this Fugler. Oh my gosh, look at the teeth. You can put your whole hand in there. Wait, could you hear that? Hopefully you could hear that. But you can literally put your whole hand in the Fugler's mouth. Ah. No, because he was like, "Oh, it's so ugly," and he was getting scared of it. But I was like, "This is so cute. Come on, look at the teeth. Look at the eyes. Oh, it's so adorable. I love it. Mwah. Yay. Okay, so all my stuffed animals are falling down at this point. It's fine. But yeah, so that was the episode. Um, why some of your friends are your biggest haters. Um, oh shoot, wait, I can't end the episode. I forgot to give advice. Wait. Well, I kind of did in a general sense, but let me be more direct about it. Um, so I would say, hmm, number one, if you notice that people are treating you differently in different spaces, and it's a consistent thing, if it's like a one-off thing or it happens a few times, maybe they were in a bad mood, you can talk to them about it. But I feel like I've also gotten to a point where I feel like we're adults and you should know better, and I shouldn't have to teach you how to treat me. So if you feel like you have to teach someone how to treat you well, then maybe they don't appreciate you, maybe they don't actually like you at all, and feel free to cut them off. It doesn't have to be like you hating on them or anything. It can just be you parting ways. Do what's best for you. If you want, you can discuss it with the person, but if it gets to a point where you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore, just try to invest more time and energy into people who are filling your cup and making you feel good about yourself, and just being in spaces where you feel valued and loved, because like life is so short. Why would you want to be in a community, and why would you be in an environment that isn't a community? Wait, sit on that. Wait, chew on that. Wait. Why would you want to be in an environment that is not a community? What else would I say for final advice? Hmm. Oh yeah. Sometimes you have to accept that not everyone is going to be your friend as much as you want them to be. As much as you want to be friends with everyone, a friend to all is a friend to none, unless I'm period. Because you have to be intentional about the relationships in your life and how you're showing up and how you're interacting with other people and how you're feeding off of each other. And if it just feels like you're giving and giving and giving to someone, they just keep taking, but it's not like an equal relationship, you just have to go your separate ways sometimes. And it's really hard. Like it really affected me for a long time because like I really valued this person. I thought that we were so close. And I wanted to be friends with everyone, but like I said, a friend to all is a friend to none. Because you can't just be nice to everyone, and like it doesn't feel genuine, you know what I mean? So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm feeding into the relationships that feed me. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that actually. This is the end of the episode. But I hope that you guys have a great morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. I literally closing it with the classic deligracy. I don't know if you guys know deligracy, but period. The classic deligracy ending, classic outro. But yeah, I hope that you guys have a great day. I love you and protect your peace. Bye. Bye.
He a eater, and his car shoe back, no daddy. Talking my shit in a